Hi, my name is Alan White, and I'm the Sound and Projection Manager. My first job in the industry was as a part-time 35mm projectionist, which I used just to pay my rent while I was in college. When my gran brought me to see Jurassic Park, I looked back and I saw the light beam from the projector, and I said, I want to work up there. And then 12 years later, I got a job in that projection room. My role as Senior Sound and Projection Manager makes me responsible for the standards across all 950 auditoriums across the ODEON estate. I have a team of 8 engineers and 1 AV tech. The training I received was from an old school projectionist. I learned then very much on the go within the job role. One of my biggest challenges was that transition from physical film to digital. And if I'm being honest, it's actually made it easier by being able to remotely dial in, diagnose, configure. So now it can be done by a team of 10 across 116 cinemas. It was a massive challenge, but while the format has changed, that passion and that energy and that magic still remains. One of the reasons why I love this job is there is no typical day. Every day is different. Some days I'm a project manager sitting at a desk, and other days I'm out in the field working with my team, actually implementing new technology or checking standards. And then other days I'm basically training, showing people how to do my job or how to be an engineer. So it's quite a vast variety of skill sets that I need, but keeps me interested. One of the pieces within my role is a lot of introverts migrate to it because you're used to working in a dark projection room. The magic of cinema for us is not what happens on the red carpet. It's by sitting in a dark auditorium and actually experience what the director has created. One of the proudest moments for me is actually a very personal one. My son wanted to go see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Half an hour into the film, my son turned to me and whispered that this is the best moment of his life. To know that I was actually a part of creating that experience for him was one of the proudest moments. One of the strongest skill sets he would need would be a problem-solving skill set. We've come up with a solution that doesn't impact how the guest experiences the movie. I have a qualified team of engineers checking our standards, fixing issues, and making sure that the guest is experiencing the best possible version of that movie they can. If you see something or experience something in an auditorium and you want to know how that happens, my advice would be very much just ask questions to see if this is something you want to do. I would recommend watch as many films as you can, understand what you're watching, understand it's an art form. When you join this industry, then you will understand your place in lambing that art form on the screen.
Hi, I'm Elizabet Krasteva and I'm a film booker. I was born in Bulgaria, but I grew up in Essex. The time period where I grew up was the book-to-film adaptation craze. I just frequented the cinema quite often, and that really got me into films, really. The whole gist of it is programming cinemas, and that's all of the films, all of the event cinema, any kind of content that's coming through to us. We program all of the releases for all of our cinemas. The biggest challenge in film booking is definitely the Monday programming. The way that we schedule is so bespoke to each of our cinemas. It just takes us a while to get through them all. To overcome it, it's just determination and practice. We actually have to agree all of these films that we'll be playing and scheduling on the Monday. It consists of negotiating with our distribution partners. It's a massive collaboration throughout the week. We're just working with lots of different internal and external teams. I did study film at university, but it was just my knowledge from working in a cinema and getting to speak with bookers. There's definitely some courses at universities that specify in it, but the film knowledge, the people skills are much more important. The best advice I would give someone would be really focusing on your data analytical skills. See the data, see what it correlates to so that you can actually make the right decision for your cinema.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly, Head of Programming at ODEON Cinemas. I grew up in northwest London, had a local cinema that I went to a lot. My dad is really into his film and theatre, taught me a lot about film history. Initially, I worked in the world of finance, but through my passion for cinema and film history, discovered that this job existed at a little independent cinema in East London. It was a great way to understand how cinemas work and programming itself. Head of Programming essentially manages the team of programmers where we work with film distribution and our internal departments here at ODEON to get films from the studios and the independent distributors onto our screens for all our audiences. And then program it using our software, and then for our sound and projection team onto our cinema screens to be presented to audiences. Historically in the industry, you tell people you're a programmer and people just think you watch films all day. There's a lot of analytics. You have to have good people skills. You have to be able to negotiate. You just kind of have to have a very good understanding of film and film genre. We schedule all of our cinemas, planning out and strategizing what we're going to do in each individual cinema, and then the rest of the week is planned what we're going to do with various releases coming up in the slate. Lots of talking with lots of people, but then also analysing a lot of data to make sure we're doing the right thing for the right film, for the right cinema and the right audience. Understanding marketing plans, understanding release plans, collaborating with all our internal departments to make sure that cinemas are optimised to their audiences. I didn't know this job existed when I was younger, but you just have to be curious. For a job, I get to talk about films. It's not something that everyone gets to do. That's a privilege.